ಅದೊಂದು ಲಕ್ಕಿ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. ಹಲೋ ಹಲೋ ಯಾ ಓಕೆ. ಅದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಲೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಂ, ಇರಲಿ. Okay, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay, so welcome to Mentors for IAS. All right, so today's class is on the 75-day strategy. Okay, so if you have cleared your prelims, this will be very useful. Even otherwise, if you follow this for next year, it's going to be very useful. Okay, so those who are watching online also, this is mainly for those who are writing mains this time, but it is equally, the principles what we are going to discuss today are equally useful for next year also. Okay, so if you have not cleared your prelims, attempt or give your preparation right now as though you would have done otherwise if you have cleared the exam, because you have to experience this attempt so that next year it won't be a trial and error. Okay, so make all the mistakes now itself so that next year when you give, it will be your last attempt, right? And now you should give it obviously with the only intention of clearing the exam, those who are writing this year, right? So this session is very simple. I mean, I'm sure all of you, you might have already have the content. So I'm not going to speak much about the content for general studies, but mainly the strategy. But what we have seen through our experiences as well as experience as mentors, what problems students face, about, preparing for their mains, etc. Is this your first mains or you have given first mains? Okay, right. So we'll see what we need to do. I mean, these, in this particular session, first let's try to understand the number. See, usually what happens is post-examination, we try to break down the numbers and check our luck or otherwise see whether we are going to clear or not. Let's break down the number before only so that we are well prepared for this year's exam. Okay, not post-exam evaluation. I mean, it is also useful, but for us, when you're writing exam now, we need to know the numbers so that we know our targets. Now you have cleared your prelims, you have cleared it because you knew what exactly to do or you did the right things. Whatever, you did the right things, you were able to clear the prelims by knowing exactly what topics to pick, how much marks to get, which topics to leave. That's very important. Mains also, we need to understand what topics we need to prioritize, which one to leave also. Okay, so comfortably we should be able to leave certain topics or rather not focus so much on that so that we'll know. So by understanding the numbers, some idea we will be able to get based on previous year's analysis. Then the focus area, again, not topic wise, but overall what areas we need to focus, okay, for our mains. Daily study plan so that you get, you would be doing all of that, but you need to understand the merits of it and do it much more systematically. Okay, revision techniques, what I would suggest, you have yours, it's okay, you can also incorporate some of the suggestions that I give you. All right, answer writing tips briefly, very basic ones, okay, and time management tips also. So those are the things that I plan to cover in this particular session. All right, so first let's try to understand the numbers. What was the cutoff, etc. So if you see, we are focusing now on mains. The cutoff was 700, general merit 741, and the toppers had scored 899. So that's approximately about 52% to 51% range. So obviously you can appreciate the fact that it is 50%, you are a topper. All right, no other exam probably, 50% would become, be getting first rank. Anyway, so this is the number. Interview may, okay, things little bit changes, so little bit it increases to 47 to 54%. Anyways, this is not our concern at this point of time. Okay, so let me give you what you need to get, not this one, because even if you get 1 mark above this, you will end up writing it next year. Okay, so there's no point in getting. So what is the exact number that we need to focus on? So we'll try to get that number here. So this 14,625 is how many people who are giving mains this time. 14,000 people, okay, are happy today that they have cleared their prelims and they're giving their mains. Anyway, so we'll break down this number. At the end, only 300 people will be happy, meaning they will not be writing next year. If you ask me, the rest 700 people also who get selected, approximately I'm saying, out of 1000, 700 people will be writing mains again. I have many students who had cleared last time are giving their mains now also. So 700 people are writing, and the rest 13,000 back to square one will be writing everything, without any success previously. So at least these people will have a celebrity status, but without any self-satisfaction. So what are these numbers can be converted to? Let's just have a look at it. So this is your mains on an average scoring that usually students get. So the students who are in this 13,000, their scorecard will look something like this. Okay, 13,000 people who will be writing their exam again, their scorecard will look something like this. Not so bad. I mean, if you look at it, 120 in a paper and all of it is considered to be good, but that's not useful. That's not good enough. Okay, so if you see here, these are the score. So the person, this is one of my students who lost by 6 marks cutoff, GM. 6 marks doesn't really, it's a small number, but nobody cares about it. At the end, back to square one. I remember I once did not clear by 7 marks. So same thing. And there is no much difference from them and those who are able to enter into the list. Yeah, hardly few, 50 marks. It looks like you could have got that 50 marks anywhere. Okay, or this is an average score. I'm saying the others who got into the service, the cutoff for GM was 741, right? Yeah, 741. So how much is that? 6 marks. 6 marks is attainable. Okay, so imagine if that's their last attempt, their entire dream is, shattered. Anyways, so this is not what I am again concerned about, because anyways you will be writing. This is the average of this 700 students, the average scorecard of them. They will be again writing, but they are selected in the list, but they are going to write again. And lastly, the one who is happy. Okay, this is the approximately on the top 100, around 870 onwards, top 100 ranks. This is what it is. Now, this is somebody who don't clear, somebody who is clear but is unhappy. Okay, and this is somebody who is happy. Okay, comfortable and can now think about progressing in their career now, right? So, if you look at these scores, what you need to focus or what you need to appreciate is, every paper there's hardly about 30 marks. I mean, if you see essay has a huge jump. Now, these are the colors which I have added here. This is essay, I should have told that before, essay, optional and GS. Is that okay? So, if you see the jump in the scores, right, you see here essay and optional, there's a huge jump, huge increase. If you see the difference, almost about 150 outside the list and top, 150 score. Almost, 40 marks comes from essay itself. Is that okay? I mean, it's not that everybody goes through this number. Sometimes GS, they might get that additional 40, but average student, generally easy to score. What we have seen through our, time mentoring others, we have seen that essay, there's a huge jump. Optional also, a huge jump, almost 30 in each paper. That means 50 to 60 marks. So 40 in essay and about 50, 90 marks you get simply from a simple approach towards essay and option. Okay, so then that's not enough. That's the problem again. That's not enough. So therefore, GS also, each GS about 10 to 15 marks you need to improve. Okay, so that is where writing tests or the right approach, right mentoring, identifying your problem, correcting it, etc., prioritizing becomes very, very important. Is that okay? It looks attainable, but it only requires a small, narrow, corrections in your course. It's very easy to get this score. Trust me. Now you are writing your mains, okay, for the first time. This score is very easy to attain. You simply, revise and get your basic of optional. Essay you write, having cleared your prelims, if you have written 2-3 essays, 115, aram se you will get. not a problem. Okay, same way GS with the basic knowledge that you have gained from prelims, you will get these scores. If you have cleared prelims properly, this is how you will get, not a problem at all. And then you go on revising, doing the same thing again and again, you will end up stuck here. So a lot of students who are giving 2-3 attempts, your friends might be giving, okay, for 2-3 years, they're not able to correct it because we need to identify which areas you can get marks. Any area it can be. Some may be good in ethics, some may be good in essay, optional, whatever. Every paper is an opportunity. Okay, that you need to understand. You go on doing the same thing, reading the same books in, supply driven preparation. If you do, you end up getting this year after year after year, right? So to convert this, you need to identify your strengths. That becomes your priority. I mean, we do tell you that these are the scoring areas. Yes, optional is a scoring area. Your essay is a scoring area, right? In GS, at least 2 paper becomes your scoring area. But again, you also have to decide which is your scoring area too. Sometimes if you feel all 4 GS I can do better, instead of 10 marks jump, okay, I can increase it by 20-30 marks, then that's good. You can focus on that. Okay, but these are low hanging fruits like essay. You write 2 essay versus you write 6 essay, and you get proper guidance, you get proper correction, right? There is a jump of 20-30 marks. I have personally experienced that. Same way here also, optional. I take anthropology class, so I see even a student who has completed my class easily being able to get 110 with the same notes that I have given. Not a problem. Your optional is yours? Okay, so with the same notes, you will be able to get that 110, correct? Now you would have given your tests, etc. 110 is not that difficult, and you get stuck with that. Is that okay? And if you see those who have not cleared, they get that 120, 150. That extra 30 marks in each paper, what you get is a little bit, a team effort. Your mentor, your self, okay, good guidance and kind of a right approach will help you get that extra marks. So anyway, so now essay, sir, yesterday, Mrutyunjay sir has done a session. If you have not attended that, you can watch it on YouTube. Okay, so after that, use that approach, start writing essays, start improving that essay. Okay, your essay approach and all of that. So that has already been covered. Optional, for example, Kannada optional, I think for those who are watching online, tomorrow sir is going to do a class. For anthropology, day after I will be doing an approach. So Wednesday Kannada and Thursday anthropology. Now I'll focus on GS. Is that okay? Fair enough. So this mainly session for GS. So the GS 4 papers, how can we manage? Essay yesterday has been done. Again, watch it if you have not. Okay, and make those corrections, necessary strategy, incorporation and all of that. Right. Now, first out of these 4 areas or whatever, now the focus area, now if I have just trying to summarize, the priority 1 and priority 2. Priority 1 will be like, even when you would have read your prelims, when you are giving prelims, in that also some areas are priority, some leave it, art, culture, maybe you can leave 5 questions, fine. Like that, here also you need to prioritize essay, optional, ethics and GS set 1 and GS set 2. Set 2 will be second priority. Now this it depends on you. Okay, out of these many topics in GS, you categorize some as set 1 and some as set 2, which you are good at. See, it has to be done. You can't study everything with the same accuracy. Some topics you may not be good at. Make it up in topics which you are good at. That has to be done. Okay, it is ideal to say that I will be good in everything. But the fact and reality is, in some you might have to sacrifice 5 marks in order to get 15 marks elsewhere. Is that okay? So therefore, out of these, I have arranged it as per the paper, but prioritize some. See, if you are good in polity, focus on polity and governance. 75% of the topics will be over in GS 2. Like that. If you are good in economics, focus on that. Like that. Economy and agriculture. Okay. So therefore, you need to prioritize. So priority 1, you have to. So when I say priority 1, 70% of your GS preparation time should be given to set 1, priority 1. The 30% of the time should be given to set 2. you should be able to manage it. Here you should be able to excel. What you are going to get over here should compensate for the loss, not just compensate, get extra also. So that's how you need to prioritize. So if you ask me, in the next 75 days, do this. Okay, even now, if you are planning for this 75 days or 90 days, whatever, you have to plan it like this. Okay, so prioritize these things. Okay, what you need to do for each of them, we will tell you one by one. So essay is over, optional we will do. Now GS may, I'll tell you what all you need to do. Okay, so this is the focus area. Focus on this. 75 days may, I will say 60 days on priority 1, 15 days on priority 2. Manage this. Okay, because you don't have enough time. Okay, this is what you need to do. And this will be the case even next year. Okay, you will have hardly 3 months next year also. And that time also the strategy remains the same. See, if you are studying it on a long run for next year and just studying the subject, that's a different matter. But when you are preparing for the exam in 3 months, this is the strategy. Okay. Now, so I have divided this general studies into general studies 1, 2 and 3, ethics, separate strategy. Okay, the strategy for GS 1, 2 and 3. So now after identifying the priority areas, now let's say I will take priority 1 as polity. Okay, so I'll just use that as an example. So in polity, first identify the themes and chapters. So content you already know. You already have read prelims, you have read your Lakshmikant and all of that. So you already know the themes. Okay, so identify broad themes, chapters within that. Okay, so questions can be asked from any of these themes. If you see now, polity may, I have put up these themes or chapters. Okay, legislature and constitutional amendment, important legislatures. And if you see previous years, at least 2 to 3 questions are from legislatures which are in news, right? Or any amendment that like 101 amendment, okay, 250 or 350, whatever, like that, important amendments, important laws. Like if you see women reservation was asked, like that, they can ask the same thing in the exam. So identify those important legislatures which are in news for the past 2-3 years. Also from general study, because see, you can't be perfect, but you can take a guess by current affairs and whatever is in news, etc. So like that. So this becomes one theme. All right. Institutions that are in news or otherwise also, like last time if I recollect, institutions like this one, what speaker was asked, I think presiding officer was asked. Okay, such institution like judiciary. Okay, so institutions in constitutional institutions, etc., they can be asked. Then value-based, fundamental right, DPSP, preamble, yes, right to equality may relating to that, or right to life relating to that, or something. So value-based questions relating to polity. Okay, then concepts like difference between Britain Parliament and India. So like that, concept-based questions can be asked. Okay, and then issue-based questions. Okay, like parliamentary, ordinance issue, federal issues, right, judicial issues, things like that. So identify broad areas, themes. Now once you have identified that, the next thing is collect facts and collect opinions. Collect, or facts has to be collected in one place. Opinions you develop, you don't have to write it, you don't have time to write. Just incorporate that within yourself, okay, in reading, etc. But again, it will not feel complete ever. You will feel like reading more and more and more. You need to know where to stop. Okay, facts. Now over here, facts, legislature, 2 to 3 facts on everything. Now women legislature bill or whatever, you know the facts, the number, constitutional amendment, what it is. Okay, some important things relating to all of that. When is it going to be implemented? So that when you write your answers, those facts can be highlighted. Okay, so make sure you write the facts. Now if you talk about even economy, in economy you take something like infrastructure. In infrastructure you take up different roadways, airways. In that also, each area or each theme, each chapter, you should have certain facts. Again, the facts you are going to decide how many facts you are going to, and know your limits. You should not get greedy and try to remember everything. That that is counterproductive. Know how much facts you can remember and you remember that. Okay, because in general studies, most questions are obviously general, right? That's why it's general studies. But your answers can be made specific by adding these facts, example, case studies, articles, etc. Is that okay? So, your objective in the next 75 days, obviously you cannot read everything, but broadly in these themes, if you are able to collect 1 or 2 facts on each topic, you can write good answers. You should learn how to write answers like that only, from some 2-3 points. Okay, and then opinions. As you read more, articles, editorials, or sample questions, keywords, etc. So keywords, etc. Sorry, from the sample answers that we give, or you get it elsewhere, etc. You go on building your opinions. This is an ongoing process. It is never going to end. Even after your exam also, you will keep changing your opinions. But at least some basic ideas you should have. So like that, identify the themes, okay, and then have facts under it. Ready-made facts you should have. Okay, facts like data, articles, case studies, examples, like that you should have it ready. Keep revising that in the next 75 days. Okay, and you will be able to write it somewhere or the other. It should be reusable. It should not be for one particular topic alone. Facts should be such a way that it should be recycled. On women issue, you should have certain facts. Children's issue, on legislature, on judiciary, okay, on federalism, you should have some data. Okay, with respect to financial administration, you should have some data. Like how, financially financial issues, something to do with GST, 1 or 2 data. Like that, if you break down the entire topics into themes, for that, if you have facts, you can recycle it. Once you start writing answers, you will see the merit of it. Okay, general opinions, general ideas, everybody writes. But how is your answer going to be different from the others is through these facts. Okay, so therefore, it's very important that you make a note of all these facts. You can write down and keep it actually, if you ask me. Okay, so that's what you need to do. That's how you can increase your score, as I told you, from 105 to 120. Even later at the end of our session, I'm going to tell that our objective of how I guide my student also is 1 mark improvement in each question. That's all is my target. If you are getting X, I will make sure you get X plus 1 in each answer. That's all. That's the difference. That is the magic number that will move from 105 to 120. When we are greedy, when we want to do a lot, we study one topic extensively, and if that question doesn't come, it's all waste. But instead, if you have that idea that, overall principle behind writing a good answer, no matter what question is asked, that 1 mark jump you can do. Now, since you have cleared prelims, this is easily attainable. You write it after 1 month, you will get this score. But that 1 mark jump in each question will get you that extra 20 marks. Same thing, optional also I tell the same thing. But GS, if you see here, 20 question plus 20, 20. Let's be honest and say 10 and 10. Okay, 20, 20, 10 and 10. That's all is the improvement you should be making, provided that you have studied your basics right. Okay, so that's what we will also focus. So this is what you can do. Okay, now some tips with respect to GS 1, 2 and 3 is know something about everything. Okay, from the syllabus. Something in the sense facts, data, the articles, etc. You can't know everything. Is that okay? Something which you feel that is very important, it has been asked in the exam. Let's say women reservation, you read a lot. If they don't ask, but if you diversify your, put your money in, like in investments, you rely on only one share. Today we were discussing with my friends. So they had invested all their money in ICICI thinking that banking sector, it's collapsed. Not collapsed, it's come down 200 points. They've lost a lot of money in one day. But mutual fund, what do? fund managers, they don't put their money in one, they diversify their investments portfolio. Same thing, this is an investment. What is the investment you are doing? Not money, time. So your time, your resource, that is memory, should be also diverse. This is exactly like, see, you get what, 60 questions in GS 1, 2 and 3, 60 topics. There are about 500 topics, if you say. I'm just trying to throw some numbers there. So 500 topics, if you study 200 and guess and say I'll study 200, and if that doesn't come, instead 500, if you are good at it, you get that 50% is what you need, you will get it. So make sure that you know something about everything. Okay, if you take about issues in polity, federalism, in that administrative issues will be there. Know something about the current ones, know some facts, know some Supreme Court guidelines or court case. One, that's all. On financial matter, GST, know some facts on that. Numbers with respect to compensation, how much some state is losing or something like that. It's easily available. Lots are available, that's the problem. Facts, lots are available. So you need to be very selective and make a note of it. Okay, so 20 pages on each on each subject is more than enough. So like that, you should diversify your investment in all these topics. So know something about everything would be my tip to you. Okay, that's not the same with respect to optional. Optional, you can guess pretty much. It's a limited syllabus, you need to know in depth. But this is not like that. Okay, next, 2 to 3 key statement or point about a particular topic. Okay, so that you can throw it in your answer, highlight it, underline it. Keyword relating to some particular topic. You should have ready-made that. Okay, then some generic facts which you should be able to recycle, like in introduction, etc., like India's growth rate. Okay, based on some organization, World Bank has this one. So that I'm sure one question somewhere relating to growth or poverty or something will be there, you can use it. So like that, some generic facts you should have for every theme, for every subject you should have a list of generic facts. You have some 20 facts like that. I'm sure 5 to 6 facts you will use it. For the examiner, it will look that as though you have prepared for that particular question. Is that okay? So such generic facts, themes you should have. Okay, and again generic framework and dimensions. Okay, I'm sure in essay sir might have told you also that, right, starting from historical, right, social, political, economic, environmental, technological, these are the various dimensions. I'm sure you, while preparing, you also would have understood that, right? So you can think from a historical point of view, social point of view, okay, economic point of view, socio-cultural, political point of view, environmental sustainability point of view, security point of view, global point of view, meaning multinational, etc., technological point of view, maybe ethical point of view. So these are all the different themes or dimensions which you can think about a particular topic. Now, if you are talking about women's issues, developmental issues, okay, governance issues, you can talk about it from all these areas. Further subdivision also can be there, administrative point of view, legislative point of view, judicial point of view, governance point of view, like that. So have this in the back of your mind so that when you are writing or generating points, these generic things will come to your help. Is that okay? So these are the generic frameworks that you should have ready in your mind for every particular topic. When they ask about IR, I think last exam they had asked about SEO. Okay, so SEO and significance to India or something like that. So you can write from multiple dimensions. It look like you have more points, okay, and it will also trigger you to think all these different angles make you think, and you will be able to generate points. Okay, so this is with respect to your general studies 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so yeah, next is with respect to ethics. Okay, Ethics, a little bit different approach from general studies, because again, ethics is a mix of general ideas and more emotional also, like little bit more towards essay kinds. It's somewhere in between essay writing, where you are emotionally writing answers, general studies where you are fixed and you have a boundary within which you write. Ethics is somewhere in between. Okay, some topics has a boundary, some topics don't have a boundary. Like if you have quote-based questions, you don't have a boundary there. It's almost like an essay where emotions has to be brought about, practical relevance should be brought about, how you will inculcate in your life, all those things. So it's more emotional because it is dealing with behavior, right? Ethics is nothing but behavior of people, the right behavior of people, right? So therefore it is more behavioral, but at the same time, some questions are also very, limited expectations is there, like if it is a governance based question, okay, or if it is administration, like relating to that, etc. Okay, then again there is a balance. So you need to balance both. So how do you address this? First, get clarity with the concepts, whatever is there in the syllabus. Okay, the terms that are there in the syllabus, by heart them, remember them, recycle, reuse it in the exam. All the words in the syllabus should at least be put in your paper at least once, somewhere or the other. Okay, whether it is emotional intelligence, whether it is work culture, work environment, ethics, moral values, all those things, empathy, sympathy, compassion. If you see the entire syllabus, just half a page, is a treasure trove of all the words that you should use in the exam. Okay, plus all that terms, you should know the concepts, basic concepts. Okay, not technical again, just generic idea of the concept, like work environment, work culture, positive work environment, negative, like that, what culture, etc. Then conscious effort to incorporate that in your answers. All right. You see, this ethics is another class in itself. We'll do it later, but general, just to complete general studies, I'm trying to do. Next, you should also have ready-made facts also. Okay, in ethics also you should have ready-made facts, and I'm differentiating that from case study also. You should have ready-made case study and ready-made facts. Almost every question in ethics, they ask, give examples. Yes, ready-made examples, short, crisp, you should have at least 2 to 3 pages. We will try to help you with that also. Okay, ready-made examples should be there. Now, if they ask about corporate governance, ready-made 2-3 examples, good, bad. Okay, with respect to corruption, good, bad. Respect to civil servants, examples, good, bad. Life examples, good, bad. Leaders, good, bad. Is that okay? Like how, emotional intelligence can be good and bad, you should have ready-made examples. You see, for example, if you are writing about how emotional intelligence can be misused, over there you can write about Hitler, where he can, negative, or any other Mussolini or any other, dictators who have used emotional intelligence as a leadership quality, but have, taken them in a wrong direction. So ready-made, and you can't explain it too much also. Crisp answers, that you have to have it ready-made and repeatedly revised. I have seen topper, when we have evaluated those who have cleared, so many beautiful examples they will write, versus those who don't clear will write one example, half a page, 1 page. Beating just a story, it will be there. So make sure crisp ones will be there, like corporate governance. Last time they had asked, like Infosys, Reliance, Kingfisher, over. Like that, in the exam you can't think because you won't have time. So everything should be ready. That is what you have to do. That's all. Prepare, come write. Prepare, come write. Is that okay? So you have to have a generic preparation for general studies. You can't be very specific. Yes, and then I'll prepare. No. You have to have generic ideas and recycle it. Is that okay? So facts also, something to do with like ethical facts, constitutional facts, because when you're writing ethics, there'll be a lot of governance question. There you'll have to write fundamental rights, articles, other things, etc. Governance, e-governance, citizen charter, things like that. Certain facts you should have. Okay, so those are the facts that I'm talking about. Corruption index, human development index, sustainable goals. Those facts you should also have ready-made. That's what you need to do preparation. And ethics, maybe you can say 30-40% of preparation, 60% of writing, like ethics, like essay. Is that okay? So this is very briefly about ethics. Maybe some other time we will have a session on ethics also. So we are doing previous year question on ethics in our channel. You can just have a look at it so that you will get the hang of writing answers relating to ethics. Right. So this is what are the things that you need to study for GS 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now, just very quickly, the daily study plan, if you ask me, the best strategy, because it is very tempting for us to give lot of time to general studies because it's vast. Lot of things to study, lot of new things to read, new books gets released every month, every 15 days, 360, 500, that, this numbers, attractive things are released every month or every 15 days. It's very attractive to read, okay, but make sure that you read it as per your demand, okay, not supply driven, okay. So my strategy for you would be 40, 40, 20, 40% of the time for optional, 40% of the time for GS, 20% of your time for essay. It is worth it. You give that 20%, 40, 50 marks, you will get extra. Same way optional also, you might have completed it. So you feel like, what to read again. But you can improve your scores from 110 to 150. GS, same effort you put, 10, 15 marks extra you will get. But it's also important, right? But you get tempted to give more time for this because it looks big. Now history you want to read, I want to read governance, somebody gives 300 pages of governance, you feel like reading it. It's true, natural, listen, but not for 75 days, you don't have that time. Even if you get such books, like you get those 360 vision, insights, whatever books you get, quickly you see the headings. See if you don't have content on that, you don't have info, select it and write it. Don't read from page A to page, first page to last. That's the mistake we do. As soon as we feel it's very important, and all nice names we put also, we institutes, right? Gurukul, Sankalp, that, this we put, right? It's a marketing thing, no doubt about it, but you should know what you need. Now, this is what I told you, the difference. You should know which area you need to focus. When you get that material, you ask before you start, 5 minutes, do I need it? Okay, now IR. Some new notes will come, you feel like read. IR you can write on your own. You just write the headings, security, bilateral, economic, global. You will get good enough ideas and then some facts. You go on reading new material is a problem. Is that okay? So don't give too much time because you end up reading more unnecessary things. So give that much of time. Revise your optional and practice essay. Content development, as sir had told you yesterday, all those things you can do it. Then have weekly or 5 days plan. That's up to you. Have weekly plan because you should know what you are doing every day. And you should keep changing it after a week depending on how it has gone. Because every day you get up and you are like wondering what to do. It itself becomes a challenge, demotivating. Every day if you get up and say, today what shall I study, which one is it? It itself is demotivating. But every day if you get up and you know exactly, these are the 3 books I have to read, get up and start reading. It reduces the tension, so you remain motivated for a longer time. So have weekly plan, or if you are doing a 5-day strategy also, that's fine. Then prioritize. As I told you, don't start from the first word in the syllabus till the last, because first one is art and culture, history and all that. So prioritize, which is your area, start focusing on that, which is easy to get, because we have to get that 10-15 marks. So which area, prioritize that. Revise, repeat. More number of time. Don't keep reading new things. If you read something new without revising, that 2 hours you would have spent for reading is of waste at the end. After 75 days, you won't remember. What's the point you're wasting it? Instead, go for a movie if you are not planning to revise it later. So have a point of idea that you have to revise it sometime. Okay, so repeat and know your limit. Very, very important. If I have to put this priority wise, this one. Students do not know our limit. Okay, we want to be perfect. That's what we have been taught in our schools also, to be perfect. Okay, by knowing everything. But this exam, topper gets only 50%. So nobody is perfect here. Nobody is half perfect also. Matlab, only one or two may be half perfect. All others are less than half. So that's the reality of this exam. Know that, so that you know where to stop, where to put that full stop. Okay, so that is what you need to do in your daily plan. So know where to stop. When you get tempted, like see for example, growth per rate, if you have to remember for India. Let's say you remember World Bank or RBI's growth prediction. That's all. Don't you think if you see books, prelims ka factual books, economy, you'll find 10 growth by this, growth by that. There's no point in remembering all. Prelims mate is a different game. Because if it is in news, there's chance that they'll ask which this report is released by whom, that this they might ask. Here they're not going to ask you specific facts. You decide which fact you want to write. That's the beauty of mains. So with one or two facts, you express that you know lots. You don't need to know everything, but you can show that you know everything. That's the beauty. Okay. So mains, you please remember, you should just show that you know a lot. It's a narrative that you have to create. Okay. So that is your daily study plan. In that, one more strategy that I will tell you is revision technique. Okay. Now I was telling you make notes of facts, etc. 10 to 15 pages. It won't take much time. Okay. 10 to 15 pages, not on one day. It happens, let's say, over 30 days or 40 days. And as you add one page, you keep revising it. So at the end of 70 days, okay, end of 70 days, from whatever topics you have studied for prelims now, etc., for each subject you should have about 10 to 15 pages. 10 is what I would say. Polity made 10. Okay, and you should keep revising it. 10 page, how long it will do? Before you start, 1 hour you give for revision. You revise all the notes that you would have made previously. Now to start off today, you are starting with 0. Okay, by tomorrow you will have half a page. After like 1 week, you might have 4 pages. So next week when you start your day, 4 pages you will revise. Okay, on the next 3rd week, you will have 10 pages to revise. So on the 50th day, you will have some, 50 pages. So 1 hour, 2 hour before you start your preparation, revise everything again. Like that, if you keep revising, you will be surprised that how you can write facts and case studies and information in your answers. Like if you have seen any toppers answers, how they write facts, examples, you will be able to write it like that. Only if you revise. You can't plan which examples they will ask or which question or which topic they will ask. So therefore, have 1 or 2 facts for every topic. Okay, this goes on over a period of time. You don't have to sit one day and collect all the facts. That doesn't work that way. Okay, so like this, for each topic, 10 for polity, 10 for governance, 5 for IR, 10 for economy, 5 for society, 5 for security, environment and disaster management 10, science and technology 10, geography 10, history about 10 pages you should have at the end. Quick revision ke liye. That's what will help you to add very specific information in your answers. Generic ideas, I'm sure you will be able to write over a period of time, given your prelims knowledge and so many months that you have given. Facts is a problem. Is that okay? That's the difference between, let's say, out of 10 marks, if you are getting 4 marks, to increase it by 1 mark, 5 marks. This is what you have to do. Correct a 10 marker, even if you write now, 3.5, 4 marks, easily you can get. How do we increase it? By 1 mark, by adding some relevant facts, relevant case studies, some data, different dimensions. That you can do by this simple exercise. Do it. If you need help, let us know. We will help you out. So that is what is called as your micro notes, useful for revision. Every day, 1 hour, or as you grow, it becomes bigger and bigger. Use half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours to revise before you start your prepare. Early morning, fresh, repeatedly you read the data, like economic data on infrastructure, on poverty, on unemployment, employment, export, import. All these data is difficult to remember. Every day, like tables, if you keep on mugging up, it will become easy. And use it whenever it is asked. So like that you should have. Economy andre, don't you think you need data on export? You need data on manufacturing sector, on service sector, on poverty, on employment. Make a list of it. If you already have it, start revising. If you don't have it, it's time to do it. Correct? Yeah. Social issues may also, you should have education, data on health, data on women. Limited. Now women data, if you just Google, you will find 30, 40 data. If you take any prelims ka revision notes, 360 or something like that, you will get so much data on women, sanitation, on healthcare, etc. Don't read everything. Take one or two which is absolutely important. Now they can ask a question on demography, right? So population, fertility rate, etc. Don't you think you should have one data, all India level and some regional level, you should have some data, okay, on contraceptive usage, one data, that's all. Because there is a high likely chance that going to ask question on demography. So one or two data is enough. You write it, okay, as and when you read it or come across, and that you keep revising 20, 30 times. As soon as they ask something relating to demography or anything associated with the social change, etc., you add that data. Recycle it, reuse it. Okay, for the examiner, since he is seeing it only once, it feels customized for that answer. But you know that you are playing with the examiner, right? That's the strategy you should do. That will help you by using this micro notes technique. Okay. Right. So to help you with all of this, as we are planning to do the tests starting from today with essay, right? So this is how we have also planned our tests. So where each topic, as I told you, these themes, each themes, we are planning to do half-length test first, and then combine it for a full-length tests. Okay. So each theme, as you do it, so each topic 3 days. So you have 3 days for each topic. Okay, some topics we have even divided it. Polity 2 parts. Okay, economy 2 parts, like that. So each 3 days you read and you use that time to also make note of the facts that you come across from your notes or from whatever material you are reading. Is that okay? So first time when you are writing the test, that is half length, your job will be to read and make those notes. The second time when you write the same topic test, it will be only revision and writing. Is that okay? So that's how we have planned our tests also. So first topics will all be, phase 1 will be all half length. In between, once the topics are over, full length papers. Same way when sectional tests are over, full length paper, GS2 full. Same way when it is all over, GS3. Okay, first part by part, see economy part, science part, environment part. After that, full length. So like that, gradually you will build it so that in 75 days, you will be exam ready. Starting again with essay today, okay, half length essay. So that you get used to writing it in 1.5 hours and then jump over to full length papers. Okay, so that's how we have planned our tests. It will be useful so that each question you can make that 1 mark improvement. So we will help you to get that extra, not the basics. Basic you should have already done by now. Okay, the classes or notes, where to study from, which textbook, you should already have done it from. Now, right, taking you addition of 1 mark per question. That's what we intend to do. So I'll be handling polity, governance, economy, society and ethics. Mrutyunjay sir will be handling essay, science and technology, environment, disaster management, security and ethics along with me. Okay, so Syed sir will be handling history, geography, IR and some ethics part of it. Okay, so in ethics I will be handling the governance part of the ethics. Mrityunjay sir will be handling the philosophical part, and Syed sir will be handling the theoretical parts, like Kant and other theories are there. So we find our areas, our strong areas, and we plan to handle it separately so that we can provide you the best input. All right. So what we plan to do is not some magic or anything. Simply improving your score by 1 mark. That's what is also required here. If you have cleared prelims, this is your score. Now, base level. You have to improve means this is what you have to do. 1 mark in each question will give you that extra mark. This is somebody who is out, those who came late. This is somebody who is writing mains this time but will not clear. This is somebody who is writing mains, will clear but will not be happy, will be writing it again. These are the ones who will top and get IAS, IPS, and will be not writing it again. So if you see the difference between those who writing mains this time and not clearing, the difference is hardly 15-20 marks, meaning 1 mark in each question. That's the improvement that we promised to make. Okay, so that's what you can expect from this. We'll make sure that your preparation is relevant, you don't get diverted. Okay, so that your answers will be more comprehensive, meaning multiple dimensions. And more importantly, from our experience, we will tell you how to write when you don't know a topic also. To cook up, that's also very important. It's a narrative. They don't know who you are. You don't know who is going to evaluate. The bridge is just your answer paper. So know how to write. Like see for multiple choice question, I'm sure all of you might have faked many answers in multiple choice question, prelims. Correct? No, you would have guessed so many questions without knowing. That's a technique. Same thing, there is a technique even in GS also. Right? So that's how we'll try to address also. Okay, so I think that's what will help you over here. Is that okay, guys? Okay, so before I end, some answer writing tips. Again, this will be more customized as we discuss, as we correct your paper, see your problems and other things. But anyway, so general idea is obviously answer according to the keywords. There will be a topic that is asked in the exam. Attached to it, there will be a keyword, directive. Comment, discuss, analyze, explain. This I have done a video, it's there on our YouTube channel. Okay, so each keyword expects you to write specific answer. Same content, differently. Okay, so make sure you focus on the keyword, circle it in your question paper so that you know what you are supposed to write. Otherwise, what happens when you are writing your answer, the flow, after one page you realize and then you can't make course correction. So you should exactly know what to write. If you ask me, spend about 10 to 15 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds to frame your answer. Frame your answer, the structure. Okay, as per the keyword. You do it now consciously, later it becomes very natural to you. In the exam hall, you would not require it, it comes very naturally. To start off with, in that exam environment, like now when you have to write for 1.5 hours or 3 hours, practice, you plan it, do it like this consciously. When you do it 10 times, it becomes very normal. Okay, so frame it like when a comment question is asked, you just write positive, negative, opinion like this in your mind or on the paper. And then you write, okay, these are the reasons why it is considered to be good. These are the challenges. In my opinion, these are the things that needs to be done. Comment question, done. Explain, nothing of this. You write the character of that particular topic. So like that, it varies. Okay. Then headings must. Okay, in general studies, make sure you write headings, subheadings, etc. Not like definition, introduction. That's not the heading. I'm saying from, challenges, that becomes a heading. Subheadings, okay, so economic point of view, social, etc. Subheadings should be there. Can we write in points? Definitely yes. Okay, I would, encourage you to write in points, crisp points, 2-3 lines each point, not more than that. Don't keep beating around the bush. So crisp points. Can we add flowchart, diagrams, map? Yes, must add. Okay, especially when questions you don't simply write it unnecessarily when there is no demand. That also I have seen unnecessary. It irritates the examiner. Like questions like classification, dimensions, etc. is asked, flowchart is good. Okay, when difference, comparison is asked, table is must. When international relation or geography questions is asked, diagrams, maps are important. Science, diagrams are important. So know where to write. Don't create unnecessarily and I have seen students putting so many circles, then square, the arrows will be going all the way, you go round, you don't find where it is starting, where it is ending. And then I have to ask, then they'll say, sir, actually it starts here, then we have to go there, then come here and all of that. Array, we are sitting in front, it's fine. What about the examiner? They don't have time. Next page. Is that okay? So make sure it is relevant. Okay. So it may be counterproductive sometime. Okay. Then should we add the introduction, conclusion for every question? Now that is some area where I get doubts from students every time. How do we start? How do we stop? Correct. You also might be having that problem. How do we start? How do we stop? Yes, introduction, is important. Yes, conclusion is important. But more important is the content. You give good introduction, conclusion with no content, what's the point? Okay, so now let's see what all introduction. See, introduction can be definition. Introduction can be context. Later, you please write down all of this because these doubts will come to you. Okay, what do you write in introduction? Crisp introduction. You can either define, like ethics may they ask something, you define it. Okay, history or IR, international relation, give the context. Is that okay? Economy, polity, you give data or facts to start your answers. Economy, like about growth, unemployment, poverty, anything is asked, start with the data. Is that okay? That's nothing but context again. Okay, so these can be a good introduction. Crisp, your answer should start as quickly as possible. Is that okay? So definition can be a good introduction, context, data, etc. That can be a good way to start. Sometimes if you don't know, don't fret about it. Don't curse yourself or you're not able to get introduction. It's okay. Just start off the answers directly, no problem. Now, coming to the conclusion, as the name itself suggests, conclusion is an end. I have seen many students adding one more point in a conclusion. No. Finish all your points. The conclusion should be based on the arguments that you have made. Number one. Don't simply write something which is not even related to your argument. That's also not correct. So, conclusion should be just 2 to 3 lines of a balanced opinion based on your above argument. You have written for, against. How do we address it? Or what is the balance that we need? I mean, see, it is something which we need to discuss over a period of time. It's a very generic statement to say have a balance, but what is balanced? As we evaluate and give you feedback, I can tell you for this is required. But back in your mind, have these things in this one, have these principles in mind. One, don't introduce any new argument or new point in conclusion. Is that okay? Second, it should be based on the above statements that you have made. It should not be a new thing. It should be based on whatever you have argued so far, like 2 pages you would have written. It should be based on that. Okay. Then try to be positive as much as possible. Okay. Neutral to positive. Don't be critical. You give criticism, but then don't end with that. Okay. So corruption, something, bad. Okay. 2 lines on how we can address this. So these are some principles, but it keeps changing depending on the demand. Comment question, you have to give your opinion. That itself can be a conclusion. Is that okay? Futuristic, all these are principles. It's very specific to your answer. Okay. Underlining, is it necessary? Yes. In essay, no. Okay, essay may don't underline because examiner's focus becomes very narrowed because you need to get a flow in essay. It's kind of a romance. between you and the examiner, meaning you are trying to convey your emotions. If you put underlines, it becomes too broken, like seeing a movie in parts, like trailers. Essay cannot be like that. Essay has to be a full movie with the introduction, with climax, with fighting, with romance, everything, songs. It should be a flow. Essay. Here it's not like that. Here the objective of you is to make your examiner's life easy. That is the ultimate objective of answer writing. Examiner's job should be made easy. He's not happy evaluating your paper. That is the assumption we should make. We should make him or her happy, or at least not angry. If you make him happy or her happy, you can expect a better marks. Okay, and sentence also should be moderate length, not too small, not too big also. So in case if there is big sentence, break it down and add words like furthermore, further, and firstly, secondly, like that. Don't go on writing sentence. You will understand, examiner will not. I have seen when I am evaluating, the sentence will be almost half a page. I would not understand only, I have to read it 2-3 times to understand what the person, then I'll ask them, what have you written here? No sir, see this one, no, then this one. You won't have that luxury in the actual exam. So break it down, small points or sentence, 2 to 3 lines. Is that okay? Right, moderate sentence. Is that okay? So this is some answer writing tip. But again, we can customize it as we evaluate, as we discuss with you more and more. All right. And lastly, time management. Okay. So please remember, you can manage your time if you believe this idea. No perfection. Don't strive towards perfection. You can't. That is what will unnecessarily waste your time. I want more. I want clarity. I will Google it up. I will search it. I will do whatever extra. I'll go ask them for one small topic. You are wasting time. Know it, move on. 2-3 lines. You didn't understand, but you can write something enough. Is that okay? So keep moving. So you can save a lot of time like that. Okay, that is something which you should keep in mind. Second way to manage your time is knowing where you are using time and where you are losing time. Is that okay? What happens is when you don't have a target, you don't know where you are wasting your time. So have a plan. Today only go home and put a plan for 75 days, long-term plan, then weekly plan. You should have. Every Sunday or fix one day. Sunday, before you go to bed, plan for the entire week. I will tell you, you will save a lot of time because of that planning. Because you will not you waste time deciding what to read and other things. So you will know exactly what to do. Is that okay? So do a weekly plan and know what you do every day. So as soon as you get up, 2 hours revision. Next, I will do optional. Then I will do this topic from GS. Notes, everything should be ready, which you would have planned 1 week ahead only. Monday, I will read this textbook or notes or this page to this page. It should be ready. It should be written down in a timetable. Then only you will save time. Otherwise, what to do? What did I decide? What have I gone? You are wasting 10-15 minutes and stress will start. Then motivation will go. Then you will give up and 2 days gone. After that, again you will come and again you will start planning. You write it down, stick it in your table, put tick mark. Yes, I have completed this. Yes, day 1, go day 2. Then as things go good and good every day, you get more motivation to do better. So that's has a cascading effect, good effect again and again. Negative effect also will have cascading. You don't know, like you give up. I have seen 10-15 days you will come and tell, sir, stress, I can't handle. Why? Because you didn't have a plan. You have to sit. You need our help. It's okay. You can tell. We can plan it. Okay. So you should have 75 days, 10 days, what all or whatever weekly, what all you will do and everything should be ready. Okay. Test should be given as exercise, not to check yourself, to keep yourself in the race. It's like warming up, like, cricketers. Even if match is not there, what do? Net practice. That is what, to keep yourself active, to make mistakes in the net, so that actual game may you perform. Okay. So this way you will be again saving time. You should know when you are writing. You fix one day for this one, for optional one day. Essay according to the timetable. GS according to the time. Come and write it, no matter what. Stomach pain, that, this, nothing. Should come and write on that particular day, particular time. Okay. End of the day, make note of how many hours you spent where all. So you will know where to cut it. Okay, I spent half an hour, social media. You will know that half an hour is the target I can get now. So every day you have to do analysis. Same thing weekly also. Timetable. All these are methods to reduce wastage of time. I'm telling you, timetable will be a game. If you have not used to it, do it. You will see the magic and you will see how much time you would have saved. Because it's very, what do you say, childlike or something like that, because we have done that in school. Adult, we don't need any restriction. We want freedom, liberty, right? Article 14, 12, 20, all articles we will tell, because we need liberty. That doesn't work here. You need to regiment yourself so that you don't waste time. That works only timetable. In any kind of a disciplined institution, timetable is always there. Army, schools, colleges. Why? They can also come now, today teacher, what shall we teach? What shall we do? If they start doing, then they will not be able to conserve their time. Same thing with you also. Have timetable and also have a score chart, meaning track your progress. How much marks you are getting, where you are losing marks, are you improving? If not, talk to us where to do the improvements. It's not like blindly go do whatever everybody is doing. You should know why you are doing, and you'll know why you are doing by keeping track of your scores, where you are scoring better, which area you need to focus, which is the priority. All of that will come into play. See, entire mains is, or UPSC preparation itself is a very scientific approach. If you do it very scientifically, you will be able to clear, because the numbers say so. 14,000 people are writing mains this time. Finally, only 1,000 people will clear the exam and only 300 people will be happy. You want to be within that 300, you have to take all the help or support and also bring out your best. Otherwise, you will write again next year. What's the point? It's not that easy. 300 you have to get rank to be happy. Otherwise, next year if you get 800 rank, what is the point? Everybody will celebrate, everybody will honor you, you will sit in the stage with others also. Next year again you will be writing. What's the point? Right? So it's difficult, but it is manageable and possible only if you follow these certain suggestions that I have given you. You have some other plan also, you see the merits and demerits and then execute it. Is that okay? So this is very briefly about what you need to do in the next 75 days. Is that okay? Same thing will apply if you are preparing even next year. Okay, make sure if you are 75, maybe you have the luxury of 90 days. Okay, or another 120 days, not more than that, because you have to start preparing for your prelims again. So in this 120 days, what you will do? Plan it. 75 days, you can, instead of writing for 3 days, you can write it for 5 days. That's the luxury, but you have to do it. 5 days plan, 5 days revision. But you don't have time because you have no, it's not elastic for you. So this is what you need to do. Is that okay? I mean, very briefly, broad overview I have given. Specific suggestions or specific help you need, you please talk to me, talk to sir, anybody, we will help you out. Is that okay? So thank you. I would end the session with that. Online students, if you have any doubt, please let me know. Okay, guys. So I think you were told that you have test on essay. Okay, you can write the essay for 1.5 hours. Okay, and then if you have any doubt you want to discuss with me, you can do so. All right. Thank you, guys.